Today's lesson is chapter 1, section 6. It's on division. This is integers again, which are positive and negative numbers. So we are going to make sure that we utilize our interactive notebook. And in this page today in the book, we are going to utilize this box, the division and multiplication. Notice here the same signs will have positive answers. If it's different signs, it will have negative answers. And we'll do some explaining on the one page 14. So we'll begin right now. Changing colors. Let's go something a little bit different. Let's go blue. All right, you can use what you know about multiplying integers to divide integers. So over here, the example they gave you was a positive 2 times a positive 3, and that's going to give you a positive 6 because according to our rules on multiplication, if it's the same sign, it's going to be a positive answer. In this case, they are same signs, and it gave you a positive answer. So over here now, what they're trying to show you that is if you have two positive, but you're dividing, you're still going to end up with a positive answer. So now you're going to take positive 6, you're going to divide, that's a division symbol right there, not a plus, and divide that by a positive 3, and it's same sign, so you're going to get a positive answer of 2. The next line shows you what happens when you have different signs. So you have a positive 2 and then you have a negative 3. And if you have different signs, you're going to get a negative answer. So 2 times 3 is 6, but a positive times a negative gives you a negative. And just like the multiplication rules, the division rules are the same. A negative 6 divided by a negative 3 will give you a positive 2 in this case. So they have two negatives here that will give you a positive. So if they did a negative 6 divided by a negative 3 and one was positive and one was negative, you would get a negative answer. The quotient of two negative integers is positive. And again, you know that two positive. So if it's same signs, you're going to get positive. If it's different signs, it's going to be negative. All right. So if you divide negative 12 divided by negative 4 in example 1, well, you can do the math first. I always like to do the math first. First, 12 divided by 4 is 3. Then I have same signs. So my answer should be a positive 3. So what they did in the book, instead of using our integer rules, they have decided to do the absolute value. Absolute value negative 12 is 12. Absolute value is negative 4 equals 4. And this really helps you get your answer first. You're going to get 3. 12 divided by 4 is 3. So just do the math and then worry about the symbols at the last minute, which in this case, same signs. So you should end up having a positive 3 as your answer. Look at these products and quotients to find the sign of the quotient of a positive and a negative integer. So negative 2 times negative 3 is positive 6, and a positive 6 divided by a negative 3 equals negative 2. So those are both same signs up here, and then the bottom here, it's a little bit different than the top up here because they ended up doing positive 2, but look what happens here. Now you have a different sign, so you're going to get a negative. Then you also have a different sign, and you're going to have a negative. So the quotient of a positive and negative integer is negative. And again, that's exactly what is on our cheat sheet. Same signs positive answer, different signs negative answer, and that goes for multiplication and division. So if you did well on the multiplication, you should have no problem doing the division. And example number 2, dividing a negative 49 divided by 7. So some of the problems won't have this division set up. They'll be set up as a fraction. And you're going to go about doing the same thing. Here again in the book, they did absolute value of negative 49 is 49. And absolute value of 7 is 7. All absolute values are positive. So if you just did the math, 49 divided by 7, you're going to get an answer of 7. Then go back and worry about the symbols. This is different signs, which means you've got to make it a negative answer. There are important and helpful facts to know when you're using division. 0 divided by any number. This is going to be very important right here. And Mr. K is going to be on this all year long. So if your problem ever looks like that, or if it's 0 and it's got the little symbol like this divided by 2, you are going to get 0. If you have it set up like this, right there, let me make that box. So you cannot divide by 0. So you cannot put a number on top of your fraction in the numerator over the denominator. If the denominator is always 0, it is going to be undefined. Not 0, undefined. And again, we'll touch on that. Any number divided by itself is 1. So if you have the numerator and denominator that is the same, your answer should be 1. All right, going over to the bookwork, you know that you are not, sorry about that. You are not doing the box, and you're also not going to do the last two problems. So I'm going to just jump over and do number 1 here. And I'm going to do the math first. So 25 divided by 5, I know is 5. And on this problem, I have the same answers. Same signs. So same signs, positive answer. So then if I go back over here, I know to just keep it as 5. Okay? And then I'll just give you a little hint on number 2. I won't do the math for you, but it's different signs, which means you should have negative in your answer. All right, that's today's work and assignment. Go ahead and get started.